I think there's so many powerful people that are on those lists. There's so many powerful people that went and partied. Air quotes, partied. And how many of them went to the Diddy parties? Have you been paying attention to the trial?
Oh, yeah.
Trials. Wild.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Ask her if she wants me to start the car up for her, get it warm.
Ellen, were you surprised by the allegations about P. Diddy? Did that surprise you about P. Diddy? He's been on your show many times.
Have a good night.
Have you been to his parties?
Joe Rogan has just lifted the curtain on what he claims Ellen DeGeneres and Diddy were really doing on Epstein Island. And the story is far darker than anyone on the streets ever expected. 4 years, people have been questioning those elite circles and the secretive moves happening behind closed doors, but Rogan has now connected the pieces in a way that has everyone stunned. If what he's saying proves true, this isn't just another Hollywood rumor. It could explain why certain people stayed silent for so many years. And if you've been following Hollywood lately, then none of this should come as much of a surprise. There has been quiet yet persistent speculation that Diddy wasn't acting alone on Epstein Island. This isn't just random gossip. People are talking about tapes, not ordinary party footage, but recordings, illegal activity, and wild freak-offs that could destroy careers. And according to the rumors, every one of those tapes leads back to Ellen DeGeneres. Joe Rogan has reportedly been holding on to this information for quite some time, and once he finally spoke about it, the entire discussion changed. Ellen and Diddy weren't simply casual industry friends exchanging birthday wishes and sharing laughs on television. Based on what Rogan has been claiming, their relationship went much deeper, the kind that placed them in the same secluded settings where phones were taken at the entrance and the usual rules no longer applied. People already knew Ellen had Diddy on her show several times, smiling through conversations about his lifestyle as though it was nothing more than harmless entertainment. But Rogan argues those appearances were more than just television. They were the public face of something happening behind the scenes.
Women who talk in bed. Really?
This is not how you play the game?
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a turn on, somebody talking baby talk to you.
No, it's just talking. Talking dirty.
No, baby talk.
Talking is in the category of talking dirty.
Is it a
Let me explain something to you. There's no rules in talking dirty.
Wait, so tell me about your birthday party. Am I invited?
Yes. Yes, you're definitely invited. I invite you to all my parties. You just haven't seemed to show up.
No, well, is it on the East Coast?
Yes.
Well, that's why. Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
Where's that? Now, what time would your party start, let's say?
Like 9:30.
Really? That early?
Yeah.
I could make that.
Yeah.
But I could think of you of starting a party at like midnight. Like, what time will it go till?
That's a different type of party, though.
Uh-huh.
No, it'll go from like 9:30 to like maybe 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And then, we have the top 2 floors of the hotel.
Mm-hmm. And then it will carry on there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then no, I mean the after party.
Mm-hmm. No, I know about them.
Think about the way Ellen built her empire. Daytime television, dancing across the stage, huge surprises, that entire feel-good image that made parents feel comfortable letting their young ones watch. Young talent kept coming through as if it were a safe stepping stone. Justin Bieber appeared more than once when he was still barely a teenager. Sophia, Grace, and Rosie, those internet kids chasing their dreams, received the same kind of treatment. At the time, it all seemed completely harmless. Joe is saying, take a closer look. Those platforms weren't only about entertainment. They serve as entry points into much bigger circles, the kind where young faces were introduced to people with real influence and absolutely no accountability.
Yeah, he's a man now. He's 21.
Even better.
Yeah.
Better for me.
He's very...
Okay, that is not possible.
He's
I have
handsome.
not seen that.
Oh,
That
no?
is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
I know. He's good looking.
Do you think he'd go on a... Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Look.
Stop it. That's not possible, right?
I made a turtleneck for you because I know you're a fan. So
Look at that. That's so great.
Then you can be a believer.
I can be.
That's what you're called if you're I think I have one more.
Oh.
I Heart Bieber. So depending on the mood, you
Oh my God.
yeah,
Okay.
just casual for around the house.
Yeah, I can wear that.
Wear this when I invite you over next
I
time.
would like to,
Okay.
actually. Okay.
Good.
Thank you, Ellen. This
Now,
is really fabulous.
would that be the youngest if you went out with him? Are you a cougar? Do you consider yourself a cougar?
Well, I'd like to, but you know, I haven't had the opportunity except when I have a job. And when I have a job, then what happens is that they have to kiss me sometimes. We've discussed this many times.
Right.
But when I don't have a job, nobody. Uh-oh, did you see? No! Oh my God, no!
People then started connecting all of it back to Diddy. Y'all remember the chemistry they had on The Ellen Show? Rogan ties those pieces together by suggesting that the same woman who projected kindness was allegedly helping guide young talent into environments that left lasting scars. Usher himself admitted he witnessed unusual things while around Diddy at a young age and said he would never allow his own children to go through the same experience. Then there's Bieber, who also ended up in that same orbit. Old clips of Diddy talking about spending 48 hours alone with a 13-year-old Bieber, calling it every young person's dream, no longer sound like mentorship anymore.
And I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you
New
over
York
to
City.
something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp?
Yeah,
Flavor
that's what it
Camp.
was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In
to
the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I
Come
mean,
on.
but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
Then there's Ollie Carter. She's been speaking out for quite some time now. She claims she was one of the people harmed by Diddy on Epstein Island. She also said it didn't begin when she was an adult looking for attention. She says it started while she was still underage. According to her, the foster system she was placed in failed to protect her completely. Instead, she alleges certain homes were funneling young people to some of the world's most powerful figures, and Diddy's gatherings were among the places they ended up. Not as guests or entertainers, but as something else entirely. Rogan brings her allegations into the discussion because they match the pattern he continues describing. Young individuals move through trusted faces into closed-door gatherings where age and consent no longer seem to matter.
I never thought that we would see the day where Diddy would get arrested, and I told you guys in that Maria Z interview in 2021 that no one tells on Diddy. P. Diddy. All right? Just the same way nobody tells on Denzel Washington. Over the border was for who? Protective Services is your supplier. Is anybody going to talk about that? The immigrants that are coming across the border, that all those that they were just scooping up out of boats and out of the water, they're now coming in and they're throwing them right into the system. Aurora, Colorado, Springfield, Ohio. Where do you think all those are going?
Now stop for a moment and let that sink in, because the Maxwell comparison is where Rogan really raises the pressure. Ghislaine Maxwell was accused of helping recruit and control access within those elite circles connected to Epstein. She was convicted and sent to prison for her involvement. Ellen, according to the way Rogan presents it, operated right in the public eye. Her show gave young stars major exposure and allegedly created pathways into her social circles that connected with the same private spaces, extreme gatherings, and transactional relationships associated with both Diddy's world and Epstein's. That is why some people argue Ellen was worse than Maxwell. Yet one woman ended up behind bars while the other left the country, moved to England, and remained silent once the attention became overwhelming. No trial, no handcuffs. Rogan argues that the difference in consequences is the part that should concern people the most. The talk going around is that Ellen was to Diddy what Maxwell was to Epstein.
All right, what does the panel think of Ellen leaving the country? Oh, this I find so fascinating because first Ellen is canceled by the left. I mean, she said I was kicked out of show business. That wasn't from the right. That was because she had a toxic workplace and all the things that the people are. So then Trump gets, so she's canceled by the left in her country, but then she's leaving the country because the right got elected. I'm just asking about that. It doesn't completely compute, right?
Did she sell her house?
Do you think she's really going to leave?
Yes, she's already there.
Where?
And she announced it, England. Cotswold, England. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know, I've met her mother, and I don't think she would have agreed with that. The mother was very down to earth. Her mother. Well,
She's always lived in L.A., right?
Yes.
And now she's in the Cotswolds?
Yeah.
I give it like 4 months.
That overlap is what keeps people in the streets talking. Diddy and Epstein allegedly moved within similar protected circles. If young individuals were present in one environment, then any connection to the other makes the entire situation appear connected. Rogan is highlighting how trusted daytime personalities helped make the whole system seem normal. How does someone create a brand built on positivity and then allegedly help guide talent into environments where they later become silenced? Look at what happened to some of those young celebrities after getting deeper into those circles. Bieber later showed signs of carrying heavy emotional struggles, breaking down, and distancing himself from important people around him. He even spoke about wanting to protect others, like Billie Eilish, from certain experiences. That made people start asking the difficult question, protect them from what exactly?
It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you. I just want to protect her, I don't want her to go through anything. I wouldn't wish that upon anybody. Yeah, if she ever needs me, I'm just a call.
Britney Spears' name started coming up in discussions connected to Epstein and certain medical figures after the documents resurfaced. She was already placed in psychiatric facilities during parts of her conservatorship, where she said she was heavily medicated, controlled, constantly monitored, and denied basic freedoms. People never forgot how the industry treated her after her very public breakdown.
I really gotta say this, even though I'm literally shaking. I can't hold it in anymore. Nobody understands the power Beyonce has. Nobody. After she got with Jay, they made her high priestess in the Illuminati. Just like that. That's not a joke. That's some dark, dark shit.
Aaron Carter is another name that refuses to disappear from the conversation. Ellen and Diddy were connected to spaces where young individuals like Aaron were brought in with promises of opportunities and guidance. He went live several times speaking about fear, claiming people were targeting him and saying that if something happened to him, it would not be by accident. Many people dismissed those moments at the time as emotional struggles. But after his death in 2022 was ruled an accidental drowning involving inhalants and prescription medication, those old live streams started being viewed differently. He was found in a bathtub at just 34 years old. Rogan points to what he sees as a pattern. Young talent brought in early, exposed to environments that transformed them, and then left carrying emotional burdens while the powerful people around them continued moving forward.
And I see people saying, you look like you have AIDS, you should go die. I don't understand how I dedicated 22 years of my life to my fans, and now they turn on me.
Do you regret ever getting involved in...
I didn't have a choice. It got bad when I was about 15 years old, because when I did MTV Cribs, the day that I had to go show off that house, my mom and my dad told me, we're getting a divorce, but you still have to go do this. I had to go show off all the stuff my whole life that was going to be taken away from me.
Following developing news tonight in Lancaster, where pop star Aaron Carter has died at the age of 34.
Yeah, the troubled performer grew up in the limelight, but he was in and out of rehab several times in his short life. Chris Wolf is live for us in Lancaster. He's got more on this. Chris?
Yeah, Rick, MB, the street is now cleared. People have been moving in and out of that home behind me all day. And tonight we heard from some of those closest to Aaron Carter, and they all say the same thing. They all share stories of a very kind, loving, caring, humble, yet troubled young man. It's the tragic death of a young performer, and now family, friends, and fans around the world are suffering the loss. LA County firefighters say they received a call about a drowning. The LA County Sheriff's Department says a house sitter called 911 around 11 a.m. Saturday to report a man unresponsive in his bathtub. It was Carter. The dispatcher advised her to start CPR until deputies and paramedics arrived. Then emergency personnel pronounced Aaron Carter dead at the scene. He had been grappling with substance abuse for years, in and out of rehab. He once appeared on the show The Doctors, explaining he suffered from a number of mental health issues and was taking a variety of prescription pills to treat those conditions.
He was a good person. You know, he had his demons, as we all do, you know. I just wish he had another chance to defeat those demons, I'll say.
And let's not overlook the silence that came afterward. Hollywood has a history of protecting the people who are still valuable, while those who speak too loudly often end up pushed aside. Rogan argues that Ellen's comfortable public friendship with Diddy made everything appear harmless on television, while the private side allegedly told a completely different story. Reports say Diddy eventually began serving time following federal charges involving allegations related to arranged companionship and transportation. After spending time at the Metropolitan Detention Center, he was reportedly moved to FCI Fort Dix, a facility that has repeatedly drawn complaints over difficult conditions. Stories even spread about him allegedly being attacked there. Meanwhile, Ellen remained free. Rogan continues pointing back to that imbalance. The smiling host who allegedly served as a connector figure still walks freely, while others are left dealing with the consequences of the system. Now, this is where things become even more uncomfortable, because then came the leaked jail call before Diddy received his full sentence, the one where Diddy allegedly tells Christian Combs, his son, to throw away the leftover pizza boxes and recycle the plastic.
Do not entertain none of this nonsense and nothing over the phone. I'm gonna need you to get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes. The what? All the boxes left over from the pizza. All the boxes. Okay. Make sure you recycle the plastic like we talked about.
Now, anyone with street sense knows that probably wasn't just about leftover food, not when federal investigators were closing in, not when homes had just been searched and headlines were everywhere. Pizza boxes and plastic, people online broke that down almost instantly. Containers, storage, drives, tapes, and shipping locations, things that wouldn't need to be left behind once investigators started showing up. There has also been talk about cargo docks and freight containers located extremely close to properties connected to Diddy. Look closely at the setup. You can see the bridge in the frame and those two massive estates on the side. Those are reportedly connected to Diddy's properties. Now notice how close that shipping terminal is. It's practically right nearby. When people zoom in on those rows of stacked containers, it raises questions. Was that what he was referring to with those so-called leftover pizza boxes? On top of that, some workers have claimed they heard underage individuals crying out, and instead of contacting authorities, there were reports of staff refusing to continue working, which only increased the speculation.
I don't think the workers in the pork strike were wanting more money because of the work that they were doing. I think they wanted more hush money to keep them quiet about what they were bringing into the ports. Diddy's house is on Star Island, which is right next to the Miami port. They saw some things, and they were not okay with it.
And the situation just keeps getting worser and worse. One of the dock workers that is on the port strike has come out and stated that they're not only striking because of being overworked and underpaid, but because they're sick and tired of hearing children coming in the port screaming on cargo containers.
The situation was extremely complicated, involving things we can't go into because they're too sensitive. Y'all can search into it yourselves. Jaguar Wright and others have been speaking about similar environments for years. Ollie Carter's claims about being moved through rooms where nobody questioned age or consent continue to be mentioned because they match the bigger pattern Rogan is describing. Foster systems, powerful gatherings, locked doors, phones being taken away. The same type of language keeps appearing from different people who were young when they were brought into those situations.
Could have that opportunity just like everybody else.
I mean, he actually caught HIV, like having like a lot of women.
Oh yeah, let's just go down the rabbit hole of all of his sins.
I'm just saying.
You want to know what's wild about that though? He faced that head up.
He did.
And he didn't stop. And he didn't stop doing what he's done.
He an advocate. Now he did that. And
period. Listen to me. He faced that head up. How many dudes is running around undetectable? G.
Come on.
In the game.
Man.
Because I could tell you 20 right now that I could rattle off names, and wouldn't nobody be able to sue me.
Wait, please name them, because we need to know. Wait a minute.
Then there's the quiet departure. When the pressure started rising, Ellen left the country. People on the streets noticed. One user wrote, "Hollywood people leave when they fear they might be held accountable for their crimes." Another person said, "Ellen, you're not innocent." Then another online critic came in with a harsh statement, saying, "Ellen is a person. To guys, remember that." This person added, "It was surprising that he actually recorded it. That tells you how insane he really was." But what if the feel-good brand was more than just entertainment? What if the same platform that made parents feel comfortable was also a pathway into circles that left people carrying pain for years? Rogan is pushing that question into the spotlight. Bieber speaking about protecting the next generation. Britney's public statements about control and medication. Aaron's live streams asking for safety before his death. Each one adds another piece to the same conversation. What truly happened inside those private sessions that left lasting effects on people who were underage when they were introduced? Why does the industry continue protecting powerful figures while younger individuals carry the heaviest burden years later? Share your thoughts in the comments, because this entire situation looks complicated. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out our next video on the end screen.